Welcome. This is a Creative Confab. My name is Richard Joseph, and I'll be your host. Joining me is Na. What's your real name again?
Nakode Clotty.
Okay, and you're welcome to the Creative Confab. This is brought to you by Ghana Tech Lab in collaboration with Digital Times Africa. Let's set the premise or set the ball rolling, right? This is in the event to create or to make sure that people within the creative community really understand what they need to do to be able to build successful businesses. Now, could you give us more insight about why we are here, what we are talking about, building resilient creative industry for?
Okay, so we have a lot of young people who are creatives but are hiding in their shells. Some of them want to create businesses. Some also want to develop their careers. So the Creative Confab event is to bring people or pros or experts in these fields to share their motivation, share their journey with us, and also power us, the young ones, to also do more and then better our careers and businesses.
That's beautiful. For all of you joining us via Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, feel free to drop your comments in the comment section and let us know what you're thinking, what you think about the engagement or the discussions that are springing out from this conversation. We have joining us, and we will very soon move into the segment where we'll have a beautiful guest speak to us about what it means to build the next generation of resilient creative who can actually make profitable businesses in Africa, right? Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Hello there, welcome once again. This is the Creative Confab, brought to you by Ghana Tech Lab in collaboration with Digital Times Africa. Right about now, I'm about to hand over to Nakode Ritanak. See, anyways, Rita Nakode, right? And we will be delving into conversations that will help us really understand what it means to build resilient creative for the job or the local job economy, right? Again, my name is Richard Joseph, and I'm your MC for the day. Now, you like to take this one?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So we are going to be discussing how creatives can use their skills to build opportunities for themselves. And we are going to be having MC Okokobioko as one of our panelists. And then we have also Kweku Beidu. And we also have Spiky in Chroma. So I would give a little brief about each one of them before we start the conversation. So MC Okokobioko, please pardon me if I get the name wrong. Okokobioko is an MC. He's an MC and then also content creator. Also, Kweku Beidu is the CEO of Revolve, and then he is a content. He's also a content strategist and then a communications. Sorry if I get some of the things wrong. I'll leave it open for them to also say more about themselves. And then also, Spiky is the host of Gig Squad, which happens every Tuesday on Joy FM. So, guys, these are my panelists I'll be having my chat with.
Good to have you guys on board. Looking forward to having a very interesting creative conversation. But how do you creative relate to yourself? Is there like a swag word you use to like, hey yo, creative? Well, can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yo, Kobe Spiky, the Joy Geek man. He's a geek on geek. I see that you're in the studios. I think we have a bit of a challenge with your sound, Spiky. Could you kindly check that out for us?
Yep,
Okay. Okay, I think that works. So welcome once again. Hand over to Nat to lead you through the conversation. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Richard. So I'm just going to go into it. So, guys, I'm going to be talking about opportunities in creative media and then the new trends and innovations that are coming up. So, jobs and ventures in the new trends that are coming up. So, I will leave it open for everyone to introduce themselves officially to our audience. So, I'll start with MC Okokobioko.
Okay. Good morning. We have a beautiful lady and a gentleman. My name is. I'd like to applaud the minds, the great minds that put together this very innovative webinar. I'd like to say kudos to you guys. You've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So my name is Nana Osebonsu, popularly known as MC Okokobioko or the viral MC or official Okokobioko. I'm an event MC, content creator, a stand-up comedian, and a scriptwriter. Yeah, basically. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nana. So, we'd also listen to Nana Beidu.
My name is Kwekube. I'm a creative, run an agency called Revolve. So our key areas we do web, digital communications, and animation. These are our three core areas we do. We've been in a space for a while, and we are happy to be on board this event. And big shouts to all of the team, the crew that put this together. Those we are not seeing their faces, especially like the people behind the scenes. They are actually the ones who work the magic. And then our beautiful hosts as well. We thank you for putting this together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you too.
So lastly, we'll let Kobe introduce himself. This is a man of so many words. So let's hear what Kobe has to say. Kobe, can you hear us?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Perfect. Loud and clear.
Great. My mic was muted. Sorry. So yeah, I'm a tech consultant, tech journalist, and music producer, and digital creator, like you rightly said. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. And I'm sure maybe my experience or struggles, stuff I've learned through time would be shared, and someone might learn a thing or two. And I would learn a thing or two from my fellow creatives who are here as well.
That's right. Okay, let's keep the ball rolling. Now, you have your panelists.
Okay,
let's dive into the questions.
I'm just going to go straight into my questions. They're a bit tough, so please bear with me. So my first question is, what are the new trends in digital media, and how do you think upcoming creatives can take advantage of this? So I think I would start with Spiky.
So digital media in itself has changed over the times. One thing I realized that a lot of people do not take consideration in is something as simple as search engine optimization, understanding tags and how they work. So people create content, all right, the content is great, they put it out there, but it never gets discovered. Why? Because the title is probably something that someone outside of Ghana cannot relate with. So if your content is not universal, you're just targeting a very niche market, i.e. Ghana. So a lot of people need to realize that the most powerful tool on the internet is the search engine. And optimizing your content for that search engine should be your priority. Making sure that people can find your stuff should be your priority. Other than that, then you might as well just create your content and share with your friends and family at home, because nobody else would find it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, so do I need to continue? I thought it was.
I think we just have to give you a round of
no.
applause. That was a good one.
Oh.
I'll wait for our host to join us.
Oh, they want more.
I think
Or you could give us more.
they're working on their video or something, but we can still continue the conversation.
Right. Okay, so yeah, besides that, and then also understanding what's new. I mean, we're talking about new trends, and primarily a lot of people know, oh, I'm creating content for YouTube because that's where the money is. And people create content for TikTok because that's where the fun is. And then people create content for Instagram because that's where the beauty is. And we're all running away from Facebook because that's where all our parents are. But we need to know that it's a collective effort. You're not only creating content for one platform. So you need to understand how each platform also works. So maybe if I'm creating content for YouTube, I know I'm creating content for YouTube so that people can watch and I would monetize. And it's usually long form content. But that same content, you could find something in there. Like a video I was working on right now, I found something, a short bit of it that I found educative. And I thought, this is something I can share as a YouTube short. I can share as an Instagram story. I can even share on TikTok, or I can even share on my WhatsApp status because it's very short. And then when people get interested in that, then I can push them to my main channel, which is YouTube, where I'm probably going to be making more money. Now, a lot of people still, as I mentioned, focus on YouTube to create all the content and make money because that's the ideal. That's the whole idea. Let's make money on YouTube. But you can actually become an influencer on these little platforms. I don't want to call them little, but yeah, the smaller ones, the ones that are not paying you direct money from monetizing your content. So and we've been seeing them, lots of influencers online. People are influencing for clothes, people are influencing for what do you call them, beauty products, and even gadgets, smartphones, anything. So carve a niche market for yourself. And when you do that, anytime you create content, that advertiser or that brand could reach out to you and say, hey, I'd like you to talk about my product on your channel or on your page because you do have an audience. But if you scatter yourself, you're doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, they can't exactly target what your focus is. And then with that, you just end up being jack of all trades, master of none.
I think we can hear you. We can't hear the lady. No, we can't. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. Yeah. So I will say thank you very much, Spiky, for those insightful comments. Knowing how to use our search engines and then knowing which social media platform best suits for us and then knowing how to monetize it. Thank you very much. So I would go to Kweku Beju. So what are the new trends in digital media and how can the new creatives take advantage of that?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, to start with, I always like to speak about the Dalton's theory of evolution. You know, digital marketing has come a long way. When you realize that in the Dalton's evolution theory, animals who fail to evolve died. And it's the same, and we can apply that sense to everything, whatever we do, to brands, to campaigns. The fact social media has grown over time, digital platforms has grown. Even if you look at where they started from and where they are now, they've evolved continuously. New trends, new ways of doing things, new algorithms. So it's always key that we try and learn and abreast ourselves with the new tools that they have to offer us. If not, we will be stuck in the past and we will not evolve and we will die, just like the animals that died. If you are looking at trends now, you realize that because TikTok has become a very big platform in the space of digital marketing, a lot of the other platforms are gearing towards video content other than still. So in some days to come, Instagram will probably look at pushing forward an extended way to share videos. Instead of the 1 minute, they'll be doing like a 3-minute slot for you to share your video content, because they realize that video is selling more. So a lot of the trends are gearing towards that side of marketing. And sometimes I feel like when we look at digital marketing, in Ghana specifically, we tend to limit ourselves just to social media marketing. I mean, the skills are broad. You have user interface design, you have visual identity design. The field is broad. So the key thing is find out what you really want to do, where you really want to focus. You can be a jack of all trades and have a high skill in one particular field. I mean, I always say don't be a journalist, master a particular field, and then you can have a broad skill in other areas to augment what you do. But always find a space for yourself to be better in, instead of doing all the things that everybody does, you know. And the trends are big. You have Google rolling out Google Lens. So for like people that do e-commerce, digital marketing, they can leverage on Google Lens so they can show more product features, where people just go online and then instead of doing the traditional voice search or text search, they can do image searches, so that if you search an image on Google Lens, the Google automatically shows you other options that you have to fit your product description. So those are like the new trends that we can leverage on to build business. And hey, I almost forgot. One area that we are failing to focus on is AI. AI is going to take over so big. You know, consumers are changing, our demands are changing. And in order for brands to meet to meet up with our demands, everybody wants to be responded in as soon as possible time. We are chatting customer service and we want a response ASAP. And that's where AI comes in. And these are fields that we are not leveraging on. Chatbots are there to help expedite responses for businesses. And these are all the digital marketing spaces that we've kind of left out, and we are focusing more of just social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the others. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kweku.
Yes.
Okay, Kweku. I mean, you mentioned something very intriguing there. I just need us to like clarify that. You spoke about AI. When I think about creative, I think about people who draw, who take photos. I mean, Kobe or Kobe. Hope I don't mispronounce your name, right? Yeah. I mean, video editors. What do they have to do with AI? How can they integrate themselves into AI? What are the benefits for AI? I mean, I don't see the synergy. Could you some of us like that? Could you help me, right? Or people like myself understand how the creative folks can tap into the value or what AI brings. Maybe any of your other panelists can also assist. I'm sure Kobe would like to contribute to this rather.
We can't hear you. You can hear Kobe.
Yes, it's on mute my mic. Apologies. So yeah, artificial intelligence is all about collecting data and then using it to either predict or do something that we as humans can't do. So you've seen artificial intelligence applications in so many fields, like in medicine, in law. I read an article where an AI lawyer or an AI robot had been created, and all it does is you feed it a lot of data, and it can tell you whether the case that you're pursuing in court, you have a chance of winning or losing. So imagine if that was applied in content creation. There are apps now that all you have to do is feed in your video, and the system can detect scenes and edit the video for you. So people are getting out of jobs. Like Nana rightly said, he said, evolve or die. So if you think that, oh, hey, I'm the best color grading guy in the world, AI is coming. AI is probably going to start doing color grading better than you. If you think that, oh, I'm the best video editor in the world, AI is coming. AI can probably edit the video better than you, because all you have to do is feed it scenes from different, oh, okay, I've got Fast and Furious from 1 to 9. I feed it to the AI, and I go take my own footage, come and feed it to my computer and tell the AI that, hey, watching Fast and Furious 1 to 9, I want this movie, all these videos that I've shot and given to you, I want you to make a movie just like it, and trust me, you would be surprised at the results. I mean, we're not there yet, but if we do get there, that's one thing that's going to be possible. It's possible with DJing right now. There are AI DJs. Feed it with the music, tell it what you want, and it's going to make a whole mix for you, and you will jam all night long, and people are going to be like, hey, DJ Spikey. Meanwhile, it's an AI that's DJing for me, and I'm just there turning knobs like I'm actually doing something, but really, I'm not doing anything. So evolve or die, yes, and you might want to stay ahead of the curve. So yes, we're not saying that AI is going to take people's jobs. It could, but you want to be the guy that people rely on to put, to program that AI, to understand that AI, to feed it with that data. So not just staying there and saying that, hey, I'm good at what I do, but you need to learn new stuff. You need to evolve. You need to find out new tools that are out there. Be ahead of the curve. Learn it first. Be the best at it.
Wow, AI DJ.
And also,
interesting, I know.
Yeah, and
that would be great. Let's hear your question.
I'd like to also add that even in the space of design, AI is already there. If you look at like new brand identity trends, AI is designing logos. There are logos that are not achievable. There are brands that they call them dynamic brands. So what dynamic branding means is that their logos are not static, they move. And these are things that, in order to maintain the synergy, AI comes in to augment it so that you can have, like, for instance, a logo that's like a flag and the flag is waving. It takes AI to achieve these things. I mean, AI is already filling out website layout designs. If you look at like even the modern trends, like the modern website design trends, they are all using AI. So when you go, you just type in a name, you choose a layout, there's AI behind it. You just upload images and then it quickly does like layouts for you online and all that. It all uses AI. The only thing that those services limit you is customization. So from an agency perspective, if you could look at researching in that, if you look at you could look at developing skills in that field, not like a lot of benefits, because these fields are emerging in our space. They are now coming. So that means there's a lot more opportunity to experiment and to tune it to your taste and to customize it to your needs. Yeah. That's what I would like to say.
AI. I'm so interested about the AI topic. I don't know why, but I'm thinking maybe one day now we can have maybe AI hosting the show.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like some nice AI. Hello guys, welcome.
You're going to have an AI
think that
MC.
Actually, even exists.
We're going to have an AI MC. So all the weddings will be going for. What will happen?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll probably have a computer telling us you may kiss the bride.
I think that's where your uniqueness have to come in play, because in as much as the AI can do most of the stuff, you need to be unique. That uniqueness would be the thing that will set you aside from an AI.
My brother, what if you code the uniqueness into the AI? What happens?
He makes people laugh during events. I don't think an AI can crack people up like the way you do.
So maybe the AI might, but the AI might not give a particular joke that suits a particular audience.
Yeah.
So before we get to that level, I think I would have made so much money and learned something that the AI would do. So as they are building more AIs, we are learning. You don't have
to point. And because of what the theme you're discussing about how to build resilient creative for the local job economy, right? If we have all this AI, blockchain or whatever coming into the system, the sprouting of the computing age, what advantage do creative have? Like, how can they leverage on this tool to put themselves at a better advantage?
Okay, is the question for me or is for everybody?
I mean,
It's for you.
you can. I want to really hear you out because
Yeah.
you're a content creator.
So basically, I think some of these things, the guy on I don't know if it's blue black. What's your name, please?
Me?
No,
Kweku.
Kweku.
All right.
Yeah, Kweku made
I thought I was
mention
going
of,
blue black.
he made mention of something. So many things actually that the AI can do. The AI can design logos. The AI can do animations. The AI can do so many, but it is not everybody. The AI can also build websites. It's not everybody that is aware of these things. So if you're smart enough, you're up to date about what the AIs can do, you can collect money from people that are not aware of these things. Collect money, do it for them. They will think it is done this amazing job. They don't know that it's an AI that is doing it. Website, you build a website within 2 days, and your client will be like, wow, this guy, the website that the last guy used almost 6 months to build, this guy did it in 2 months. They don't know that it's an AI that is your Holy Spirit. So the advantage is get ahead, understand what the AI is doing, use it to your advantage, and make money from it. Thank you.
That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
That's really brilliant.
So from what she said, I was listening to an interview recently, and the person said technology is advancing, but we have a lot of ignorant people around. So you can take advantage of the people who are being ignorant and then use your skill to make money from them.
Wow.
Fact.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think so. It means
I
have to
also-
be very smart so people don't come and rip me off. You know, you do logo in 2 minutes and tell me it's
Yeah,
Holy
but
Spirit.
I also
You didn't
think
come
that-
and you crank us up.
You're saying something.
Yeah, I also think that
regulations.
AI is not like, I mean, AI is not only, I mean, it's not to take away your jobs. It is only to help you do things faster and better. So like things that will take like a longer time to do, videos that will take a longer time to produce, features that will take you a longer time to do. AI is only to enhance it and help you deliver faster and better. The other thing that AI probably will miss out is customization, because for that one you have to invest a lot to be able to customize it to your need. Now, for like the general, and so that's where design skills are not going away, because the AI can reproduce a certain idea, and so what will happen is that there will be a lot of monotony. Now, for like the average designer, you have the power to because it's your skill, your thought processing will definitely be different from a computer. So you can still carve a niche, you can still be better at what you do. And I mean, just use the tool to enhance your skills and not just ignore it entirely because you are scared it will take your job away. You know?
Yeah, what
Because when you
said is
mention
very
AI,
true.
people are just scared that their jobs are going away. It is just to enhance. I mean, technology is just to enhance what we do, help us improve, and help us work better. So I don't think it's here to take our jobs. It can't.
So I'd like to add a little bit to what Kweku said. If you're a content creator, you know how putting out content is very important to you, because that's your bread and butter. And one of the most important things is knowing what your audience wants. And some of the time you have to be going through the internet, going through the trends. I know people who wake up in the morning, first thing they go to do is they go to Twitter, check the trends. But Twitter trends may be different from what's trending on Facebook or what's trending elsewhere in different countries. But there are tools out there right now, AI tools right now, that can help you tell what content would work for you. It can help you, check your competitors, see what's successful for them, compare even your content to theirs. There are tools that can help you analyze your audience response, sentiment analysis. Sometimes you put out content, you don't know how people really felt about it. The comments, there's like 1,000 comments, and you can't read all of it. But you can have an AI that's going to go through that comments and then tell you that this post you put out there, I did a sentiment analysis on it, and I can tell you that 70% liked it, 30% was negative, or 20% was negative, and 10% was neutral. and all that helps you to decide what to do next. Insights, analytics is very important for people who create content, and you can't always do that on your own. But there are tools out there right now, AI tools, that can assist you to glean that data and then get information out of it. Information is basically processed data. So, and you can't process the data. So you use an AI tool to process that data and lets you know everything from the demographics all the way to even how many times people have shared it outside of your own circles, to even track that content. And AI could do that for you. So, like Kweku said, it's not always about it coming for your job. Sometimes it could be a tool that you can use to basically get ahead of the competition.
Okay. AI makes you smart.
It's a superpower.
If you are still foolish in this digital age, my brother, you're on your own. MC Okokobiogo, is that not how you say it? Can you crack the joke for us? Let's just break
I think there are so many AIs for jokes now. Well, I have lots of my videos on most of the social media platforms, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook. And basically, I don't just do stand-up comedy. I create content, like funny content, like comedy skits. When the whole webinar started and I started hearing the big English from Kobe and Kwadwo, I was like, hey, my heart started beating. Because me, basically, I'm not too technical. I'm not the technical type. I'm more of the creative writer. I make
being smart with AI. You understand?
Yeah. So for the jokes, you can always get them on YouTube. And another thing about putting your content out there, I think Kobe mentioned some few things earlier when he was giving his points about search engine, knowing the trends and all that. Yeah, the right tags to use. I also think, for example, if you're a YouTuber or you're posting your content on TikTok or Instagram, the kind of thumbnail you use when you upload your video is very, very important. For me, I do comedy skits. You need to put something that would attract someone to want to watch. Like you put a thumbnail that when people see, they'll be like, okay, what is this thing about? That would make them, aside the thumbnail, to your caption. Your caption is very important. You put your content there. You put a caption that when people read it, they want to find out like what's happening here. Like, why is this caption like this? Aside the caption to, I think I've talked about thumbnail, I've talked about caption. The quality of your content to the quality of your video should be on point. It should be dope. Because if you want your video to stand the test of time, like if you want people to watch your video in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years, and still be like, wow, this content is a great one. Your content, I'm talking about comedy skits for now. If you're putting out something there, it should be something that it is not just making people laugh, it is also passing a message. When someone watches it, the person should be like, okay, I learned one or two from this. And with that, I think your content should be able to stand when other contents are trying to compete with it. I think other people I'm no longer seeing others. Am I here alone?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you are not here alone. We are here with you.
Okay, I want to be seeing the faces of other people. Okay, yeah. So basically, your thumbnail, your caption, the quality of your video. If you get those things right, it will help push your content well online. Basically.
That's, I think, your content.
Okay, so we're about to wrap this up. I just want to find out comments. Think about yourself 5 years ago or 7 years ago. I don't know how old you guys are. I don't want to mention so it makes you look very old, right? So think about yourself 5 years ago. What advice would you give to yourself, especially as a creative, right? What would you do if you were 5 years before now? What would you do 5 years before now that you had, as a result of what you know now? What would you do 5 years before now to help you improve your growth process. So last comments. Anyone can start. Kobe, would you like to go first?
Okay, I'd like to go first.
Yep.
So 5 years before now, let me talk about MCing. 5 years ago, I think 4 years ago, I started MCing, and what I usually do is when I'm done MCing, the show usually goes well. But at that time, I wasn't aware. I was putting my hope on the videographer that the couple paid to cover for them. So at the end of the day, after the wedding, I chase the videographers for the videos. I don't get the videos. At the end of the day, my social media platform is empty. It is only the people that attended the wedding that knows that Okokobioko is good. Okokobioko did well. So at a point, I got the idea, okay, why don't I get a phone and take my videos myself? Then I was using a Samsung phone. I was taking videos, but I realized that the quality of the video was bad. Sometimes I take a video of somebody that is fair. In the video, the person becomes dark. Then at some point, I realized that, okay, I need to better this thing. Then I invested in an iPhone. I got a better quality, a better iPhone. And since that time, my videos have been trending. Like, I take quality videos, post it out there. I have a video currently on TikTok. It has over 18 million views. It's not up to 2 months. So if I had invested in quality videos 5 years ago, I think I would have gone farther than I am now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your submission, Nana Osei Bonsu, aka MC Okokobioko. I'm sure you'll be at my wedding, right?
Oh, sure. If you pay well, I'll come there.
Or maybe you would. Maybe you plan to marry soon.
You said me? No, I need to collect more money from people before I marry.
No. I know you don't. You sound like someone who really wants money. Like, so let's talk about Kobe. You hope you plan to marry soon.
Oh, not at all. In the next 5 years, we are waiting for AI to come and MC my own, so that I don't have to pay another MC. I'll just make AI.
You don't want to pay. You want to be smart.
Since I'm aware that we have AIs that can do it, why not? The AI should do my own, but I'll have to collect money and do for others.
Brother, I should be expecting Mind you, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, so for all you know, maybe people are looking for other AI solutions to empty their wedding. You might be losing
they cannot try it. The AI will scatter their wedding for them.
Oh my god.
All right, Kobe, let's hear from you.
Well, I like what MC Kobioko said. You know, getting the right content, getting the right quality content out there. 5 years ago, I was creating content, but I was inconsistent. And I realized that's one thing that people don't realize is extremely important, consistency. If you want people to keep you top of the mind, you need to be consistent. If you want people to remember you, because mind you, there are choices. What you're doing, there's a million other people doing it. So if you're not creating content consistently so that people don't forget you, see, in as much as we've become so lazy that even when our phones or our devices slow down on us, we quickly switch to something else. If we're watching TV and ads come, we just leave the TV, pick up our phones. You're talking to someone or you're waiting for your food at a restaurant, you pick up your phone. So there's choices. There's so many things. Facebook is not fun. You switch to Twitter, you switch to Instagram. And you need to know that because of this multitude of choices, people can easily forget you. I mean, we even forget our friends' birthdays and names and stuff. How much more you somebody that, I didn't say it, though. You said it.
Okay. So I see.
If you don't remain consistent, people will scroll past you and forget that you existed. Tomorrow they'll come to Instagram, they won't see your content, and they won't even remember that, oh, Spiky ever existed, you know? So today you're putting out, everybody comes today, they find your content. They come tomorrow, they find your content. If they come on Wednesday, they don't find, they go somewhere else. They come on Thursday, they don't find, they go somewhere else. And mind you, Friday, they won't come back. If they don't come back on Friday, they've forgotten about you. Not until someone shares your content somewhere and then they find, oh, this guy, I remember him from some time ago. It was probably just last week. But the amount of content that is being bombarded on the internet, if you're not ahead of people, That's it. They'll forget you. So for me, it's always consistency. Don't slack. If it's every day, you're doing it every day. If it's every week, you're doing it every week. If you miss, you're gone.
If you miss, you'll be missed. That's all. Anyways, Spiky.
Yeah, that's a bad.
Before we let Kweku talk or give his final remarks, why the name Spiky? I mean, you sound so. Where is that from? Is it a creative name? Should we also give our name some hashtags or something like that?
So, before my hair grew this long, my hair used to be very spiky. So when I cut my hair, it's spiky. And back in school, in primary school actually, my teacher couldn't mention my name because she was French, and I don't have an English name. My name is Kwadwo Kroma, and she can't pronounce any of it. So they used to tease me Spiky because of my hair, and she also started calling me Spiky, and I got stuck. So from class 4 up till now, over 2 decades, I'm still called Spiky.
Over 2 decades, my brother. Spiky on, brother. Okay, let's hear from Kweku, your final words. I think I have to find myself a name. Okokobioko, we have Spiky. Kweku, do you have one?
Yeah.
Do you have an alias?
I don't have one. I don't have a nickname.
Okay.
Everybody calls me Kakaba because I'm the last. So you probably Kokobioko can find me one. Yeah.
When they were talking about Spiky, when they were talking about
probably
Spiky,
AI can find me one.
You can find you one. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
oh my God.
I'm just wondering the name the AI will give you. I hope you don't reject it when you hear it.
All right, this has become a stand-up comedy. Mind you, you're watching the Creative Confab, and we're about to take comments from Kweku or final words from Kweku before we wrap up the session. Kweku, let's hear you.
Okay, so 5 years from now, what I would have done different is I would have 5 years before now, what I would have done different is I would want to have more time for myself, because 5 years behind I was working as an external relations officer, and so my job schedule was very tight. I barely made time for myself, and as creatives, what really drives us is the passion to do things that we love and we are free about. And so if I could change anything back, I would have had more time for myself to create things I love and to take on passion projects that I'm just really passionate about. And it's not really for the money, but I would want to challenge myself and see what I can do and the skills I can experiment with to achieve the results I want. So 5 years behind, that's just it. I just would have loved to have more time for myself.
All right, great.
And as creatives, to add to, as creatives, we tend to lose ourselves in our processes because we want to do so much. We don't have time for ourselves, and I think we should, because it's a passion that drives us, and so we shouldn't lose sight of ourselves. And in the quest to create more, we shouldn't lose ourselves and lose who we are and what we identify as. So, that's just to add to it.
Perfectly, rightfully said. Thank you so much. We have a few comments. Let's take some comments. Let's see what our audiences are saying. Which one goes first?
So I think blessed.
I fear Mufa. So basically, clickbait. People are teaching people how to do things. What Blessed says, blessed or Clue says, talking about investment. I think it would be better for you to read.
Okay, so blessed says talking about investment. Does investing in the right equipment mean you get the best when it comes to production? Because someone can have the best tools, but he is not good at what he does.
I think the person just answered. The person asked the question and answered the question.
Because welcome to the Creative Confab, where anything is possible.
If you buy an equipment, is it Holy Spirit that will operate it for you? You need to gain knowledge about what you bought. You need to have knowledge. If not, you just waste your money. Yeah, so basically the person answered his or herself. You need to gain the right knowledge, understand the equipment. Even that's why most businesses don't last long. You see that someone has bought cameras for photography and videography. He has set up a photography and videography studio, but he doesn't have knowledge about it. He employs people to do, even if you just want to be a manager over something, gain knowledge about that thing. So that when people are using it, you would understand why they are using it like this, why they are doing certain things they're doing. You just need the knowledge of the equipment you're using. So I think it's very important to know how to use it.
Great.
Yeah, and
would
I
any
would
of you
like
want
to.
to contribute to that before wrapping?
Yeah, I'd like to add to that. Like there's this philosophy I always use. Tools don't create content, creators do. So the tools, you are supposed to use the tools to create. And that means you already have like ideas of how to go about a project. So the tools are just to guide you, just like a cutlass and going to the farm with it. The cutlass won't farm itself. There's a farmer that will do the farming. So you just have to have the knowledge, the skill set to utilize the tools to the full optimum. The tools won't create for you.
I think I have a nickname for this guy. We should call him the great philosopher, because he has been talking about philosophy.
Oh my God.
The great philosopher.
You know what that reminds me of? It sounds like saying the great. You know all those Nigerian movies where you have the Okwa and talking about some locals. It sounds so much like a grown mature man. How old are you again? 78 or something?
What do you say?
Or maybe I'm almost 100.
Who knows? Anyways, that's all time will allow us. Kobe, would you like to say something? Oh my God, there's more questions coming in. Before you say that, I'll try to ask you to kindly answer this as well, because that's all time will allow us. I feel the animation space is lagging behind in terms of exposure. Can we know your thoughts on that? This looks like it's going to take forever to answer. But I think you can answer it.
It's actually very, very, very simple. We have people who are in animation space in Ghana who are doing great things. We've seen FYB Studios, whose Mofra content is on Amazon Prime right now. Toby from OOTO Studios, they're all doing great stuff. So it's all about getting yourself discovered. If you do, you can do great stuff, but if nobody sees it, nobody knows that you have it, so you need to get yourself discovered. I don't know why people like to hide their stuff and say, hey, I don't want people to copy me. Then how are you going to get discovered? Just put it out there. And then to add to what exactly. So about having the tools and not being able to use it, someone can have the least of your tools and even do crazy stuff with it. I've met young people who have like 500 Ghana CD phones, 600 Ghana CD phones, and the content they're shooting, I look at it and I'm like, did you shoot this on like iPhone 13? And they're like, and they show me the phone they shot it on. I'm like, no, this is amazing. I've seen producers who are producing on laptops that if you give it to me, I'll probably pull my hair out because it's so slow, but they're making crazy beats with them. So it really is not the tools, it's the passion to create and learning how to optimize, get the best out of the little you have. You'd be surprised at how sometimes we record. I go and hide in my wardrobe to record audio sometimes, and it comes out so great. I don't have to go to a recording studio. So you don't need the best of tools all the time. Make the best of what you have. Anything can make you successful, regardless of what you want to do. It's just the passion that you need.
I think we can hear the guys. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. I think we need AI to help you talk now, because looking at what is going on.
I need to make money to hire MC Okoko.
Can you hear us now? Hello?
We can hear you now.
Okay, so AI just fixed our problem. And I was actually, you see, the funny thing is, I was actually coming up. Oh my God! So Okokobioke, this is what I was saying. I was saying that maybe at the time you were using the Samsung, right? You didn't really have the skills, but now you have the skills. So that's why your iPhone looks like you're making better videos. Anyway, thank you for also involving me.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because I remember those days when I upload videos, my close friends would message me and be like, your video is not clear. Like, the video is not nice.
What happened?
Like, on the phone, it looks nice. But when you post it on social media, the quality will now reduce. That's Samsung for you.
You see,
Samsung,
the time
bro.
when that was a
the
thing.
name. It will Sam. Then when you now upload it, to now song the quality. That's the song review. It's a Chinese word.
There was a
You
time
get
when
it.
that was a thing, but now it's fixed. It was an Android
Yeah.
issue, but now it has been resolved.
Oh, okay. I don't care whether they have fixed it or not. I have moved on. And never again will Samsung do that to me.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can
So
check out
iPhone
my
over
review.
Samsung any day, though.
You do
iPhone over
Samsung.
Samsung
okay,
any
guys.
day. So
Samsung
You
over
guys,
iPhone.
either
any day.
iPhone,
This is not a
iPhone.
Oh my
conversation.
God.
iPhones any day. iPhones any day.
Guys,
iPhone.
let's take a pause.
Even
Let's take a
even
pause.
when I leave this
Samsung
world,
any
there's
day.
no iPhone.
If you want to have this conversation, I'm sure that you can go on Joy Geek Squad. Kobe will be very glad to have you talk about.
Yeah, we should come.
Exactly.
Yes.
Anyway,
You
this
see
is
the
all
kind
time
of
allow us
Samsung,
to drop
you kind
text
the kind of
and see on a
Samsung
short
these guys
break,
using.
and then we'll be back for the next session. Thank you so much, Spikey. Thank you so much, Nana. Thank you so much, Kweku, for availing yourself and sharing insightful and relevant comments. It really helped us. Look at the fact I need AI to help us. All right, thank you so much, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Right back.
MC Okokomeko, your name is now MCAI.
Okay, let's do my brother. And
All right. Hello, guys, and welcome to the second session of the Creative Confab event. The first session was very hilarious. For me, I really had the opportunity to learn so many things, especially looking at how artificial intelligence is transforming the creative industry. Um, Whilst we are looking at how technology and digital media is transforming industries, the workforce to transform this industry is very, very important. And the essence for us to prepare and and tool the various talents to take up these roles within these digital media agencies. So, um, I'm happy to have a colleague and a friend here, Samuel Barton, who is a seasoned creative here at Ghana Tech Lab. So, Samuel is, let me just give someone an opportunity to introduce himself. Samuel, tell us about yourself.
Okay, so basically a photographer. I'm in the field of creative, working with sound design, graphic design, animation, virtual reality, and a whole lot of stuff. So I currently work with GTL, and I do the photography aside as my personal kind of thing I do. Yeah, can say that.
All right, sure. Thank you, Samuel. So I think we have Edward Asari. Okay, they're not fine. It's just Samuel. Okay.
Hello, my brother.
Yeah, sure. All right. Is it Edward? Just a second. Can we go off? Apologies for the error. All right, so we have here Osei Alex Bonsu. We have Samuel Barton, who leads our creative media space here at Ghana Tech Lab, and we also have Michael Newlaff, the CEO of Seruba Incorporated. So, Alex, tell us about yourself.
Hi, good morning. Can you guys
Good
hear
morning.
me? All right. So, Alex Osebonsu. I'm currently the head of design for Incel Communications. I'm also into brands and communications. Basically, more into the marketing and advertising industry. That's where my skill sets are. Yeah.
All right, thank you for being here. All right, Michael, tell us about yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, solid.
Great. My name is Michael Newlove, and I'm currently the lead at Atawave, and we are a small consultancy for media and then tech businesses, and we do a lot of production for them. So anything from video, branding, and a whole 360 approach. That's what we do here.
All right. Thank you all for being here, and I'm looking forward to having a really great discussion today. All right. So, like I mentioned earlier, we've had discussions earlier where we had our first panelists giving us very deep insight as to how the opportunities available within the creative industry. But we need people to drive some of these innovations and to take advantage of some of these opportunities within the creative space. Yeah, so I would like to know from your perspective, looking at based on your experiences, Samuel, based on your experiences, Michael and Alex. So how do you, from your own perspective, Samuel? Let me start with you.
Sure.
How do you think we are prepared? Are our workforces prepared enough to take advantage of some of the opportunities available within the creative space?
I'm very sure we are well prepared for that. We are not at the peak yet, but currently we are trying our very best to do that. With the kind of skill set that we have already running in the country, we have a lot of people with a lot of things that they do. I mean, we have a lot of skills running here and there. They are making a lot of content, but maybe they might not get a chance for you to hear them out. That's why you think you might not be properly ready for that kind of market. But I feel like the country is ready, but they just need a stage to showcase whatever they have, and they need someone to give them the voice to bring out whatever talent, whatever they have. So I'm sure the people are ready to be as much as creative as possible for the industry, but they just need a bit of grooming and all that kind of stuff that will help them to be well prepared and maybe meet the market both locally and internationally. Yeah. So I feel.
All right. Thank you, Samuel. So, Alex, back to you. So, Alex, based on your experience working with one of the leading marketing and branding agency in Ghana, I mean, what do you think? Do you think our skills? Do you think the talent or the creatives we have are well prepared enough for the job market within the creative industry space?
Okay, so it's quite interesting because I think I'll take it from these two perspectives, right? So I'll take one from the universities and I'll take one from the agencies angle. So I think the universities are coming out with, for instance, I mean, the universities that handle those programs which feeds the marketing and advertising industry, like let's say Ken UST, Legon, Winnipeg, UCC. So I think there are lots of people coming out, but then when they come out, you get to meet them, you realize they just know what is on the book, right? They just know what is on the book. Then you just find a few people who actually know what they have to do. You understand? So it becomes quite tricky whether you should go with this or you should go with that. So for the universities bringing out people, in a year you can see 1,000 people graduate, but then you find just 10 people who are actually prepared to work. The rest, they just went to school. You understand? And for the ad agency or marketing industry, I feel we are doing quite a bit. We are, for my side, for my agency, we have a lot of training programs and those stuffs where, I mean, we all learn, we are all growing, so we make use of those avenues to grow and those things. And in identifying whether people are ready to be in the industry or not, I think it's a very tricky conversation because one, you have to look at the talent, you have to look at the dedication the person has spent from the first year in the university up to the person completed. What was the person able to come up with? Because you don't just go to school to stay there and learn the book. You understand? Because when you graduate, in order for agencies to identify that you are ready for the market, you have to show something. But then it looks like mostly when our guys go into the university, they just assume they just have to learn the books now, and after school everything will be taken care of, which is an issue for some of us who have to look for those talents and bring them into our industry. So I think it's a bigger conversation we should have, and it's quite tricky. Yeah.
Pointers which has to do with academia, and it's one area I'm more interested in relation to how fast technology is rapidly growing. So I would like to understand this from Michael's perspective. Michael, do you think the skills that our educational systems have prepared us adequately enough to take advantage of some of the new and emerging digital and media creative roles? So, for instance, and I think some schools are still teaching people how to even use Corel Draw to do graphic designing, and we have new graphic designing tools and resources and even platforms. And for instance, in marketing, for instance, we are using CRMs to automate our marketing process and all those things. Do you think our schools or the training institutes are preparing today's digital creative talent to be readily available for our job markets?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
So, how I see this is that educational institutions can always do the barest minimum because they have like a set syllabus, right? That they go according to. And with how trends are moving and the pace at which they are moving, it always falls back on industry to reach out to schools and academia to let them know what they actually need because the students are actually going to be and are going to end up working in these places. So I feel there's a disconnect between industry and academia, and if we can bridge that gap, that would really do a lot of good. What I've seen is that some of the very, very serious guys who come out of school and are ready to work, most of them did a lot of side things. They picked up internships even before going to school. So they had the passion and then they followed up on it. If we can have a better system, right, that would help people access more experience on the side beyond just school or what is learned in the classroom. That would really help because at the end of the day, um, it's really about your experience and what you can bring on board. When when the job starts, you just really have to deliver, and that is it. So if you can bridge that gap, that would really help.
Sure. Thank you. And I think that's why conversations like this are very, very necessary. So that, I mean, the upcoming creatives that are coming from the mainstream academia background are learning from people like yourself who probably didn't have any formal education within the creative space, where you are making waves within the space that you find yourself. I think one of the things that we also critically need to consider is the what really puts employees off. Let me just give a case scenario. I mean, I've worked with creatives for some time now, and especially upcoming ones. And I mean, there are so many put-offs in terms of mindset, readiness, and so many things. And I know, Michael, you've worked with so many creatives. So I would like to start with you. What are some of the put-offs, or what are some of the challenges working with some of these creatives that affect their growth and sustainability as creatives, or to become very relevant as creatives? Please, I want you to be as real or even as raw as much as possible. Yeah, thank you.
So you know, being an artist and my I have a I'm a filmmaker and a photographer myself, so
Yeah,
I can understand from that perspective. Being an
yeah,
artist, sometimes you have to reach into the depths of your soul to produce a work, right? And that is when you're doing something for art for yourself. But sometimes you have a creative director who has told you, okay, you need to do this and this and that, right? That is supposed to be your inspiration. But then you have one very talented graphic artist who would take his precious time to deliver the work because he's not finding the inspiration. And I feel that this is because they a lot of people do not get what it means to be objective on the job. The creative director is there to help you, to hold your hand, and then you are there to execute, right? So sometimes taking instructions and being objective is missing in the process, and that's like a very very a serious put off. If I believe that if you give these creators, if there was abundance of time, I'm sure that they will come up with something crazy. But you're working in a team, and the team has come together with a creative, and you just need to execute. So then, Mr. Graphic Designer can't really take as much time as he would like. That is one
yeah,
thing. That is end of the day, it's really in this industry, it's really about satisfying who the client is or who the audience is. So you always have to plan ahead. You always have to plan ahead, prepare for contingencies, and then move. Because once you start going, it's like jumping off a cliff with spare parts and then trying to fix a plane so that you don't crash. That's what it is. So you really, really need to be up and doing, be up and ready for the work. And you need sometimes people can really get nasty on the job, and I am against that. You always have to respect the next person and respect yourself as a human being, and know that they also have feelings. But there are certain boundaries that you can't cross. But also there are some gray areas that you can understand that the next person is probably stressed out, and then you would know how to communicate with them. My brother knows this because he's in advertising, so he knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, I feel that these two things, if we can really be objective, right? If we can be objective and then we can understand what the end goal is, it will really, really help smoothing things along, because at the end of the day, it's teamwork, and then interpersonal relations in the team really helps bring the best out of everybody. You know, the quiet person may have like the best idea, and then because someone is too loud, they just keep it. At the end of the day, the solution to your problem is in someone's head. And if you don't have that relationship with them, you would probably be going around in circles when your answer is right in front of you.
Thank you, Michael. That was very insightful. So Alex, back to you. I know you've been within the space for quite some time now, and probably you might have been involved in onboarding some of these creatives or some of these potential talents on your team. Let me give you a scenario here again. So I was trying to recruit one a creative designer for one of the projects that I was working on, and I put out applications there, and I was very, very careful with what I was looking for. So the guy submitted the applications, and I mean, as a creative, you don't really need a CV. What really portrays or what really shows your worth on a job is your portfolio. I mean, I asked these guys to send me portfolios, and they are sending me pictures, and some of them are even sending it on WhatsApp and not even through email. I was expecting probably a dribble account or something, but they ended up sending me their portfolio on WhatsApp, which one was unprofessional. So, and he already put me up. Um, as an expert within the space, what do you think are some of the put offs from your end? What do you think are some of the things that creatives are not even doing right before they are even on board, jumping onto some of these teams? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's quite true what you're saying. I mean, a lot of creatives don't take time to create those accounts. I mean, the least you could have is a Behance account. You understand? The least you could have as a creative is a Behance account where when a creative director or somebody requests for your portfolio, you just send the link. Because with a Behance account, you're exposing yourself to the world. The person will know that you actually want people to make input into whatever you are doing. So then it shows some sense of seriousness. But then this is a situation, just as you said, I've had these situations before where I'd get a contact for a creative, and I'll just be there, and the person will just start sending me JPEGs on my WhatsApp. Like, I'm like, why are you sending me JPEGs? At least you could just send me a consolidated PDF with all your works. I don't need to go through your JPEGs on my WhatsApp. You understand? So I think creatives need to learn on those angles. And I think some of the things that put some of us off when we are looking for creators is communication. I remember we had this situation where we needed a creator, like a graphic designer. So I contacted this girl on LinkedIn. I mean, I went to her profile. She had a good profile. So I went, I tested a nice message. Hello, blah, blah, blah. I need this. Can you send me your portfolio? The least minimum you could do was, hi, thank you for reaching out. I will send you my portfolio in 2 days. I was there 2 days. The girl just sent me the portfolio inside the link, the LinkedIn. No hello, no hi, no
Wow.
nothing. She just sent the portfolio like, here you go. It
Wow.
was I was just turned off. So instantly I just had to look elsewhere because I realized one, the communication was terrible and I couldn't work with
Yeah.
somebody like that. You
Yeah.
understand? And I've also had instances where we sometimes we outsource some of our staffs to outsiders to work on when we have quite a load in our space, and you realize some people don't listen, some creators don't listen. They assume they know more than you. I've been at that stage before, but you get to a stage where you realize the client has his own mindset, you have your own
Yeah.
mindset, but you have to find the gray spot, you have to find a sweet spot which will work for both of you. But then you find a creator, outsource a project to a creator, you give the creator a brief and he comes up with something totally different, like based on his own imagination. But I am working with a client, I need to satisfy the client, you understand? So
Yeah.
then it becomes tricky. You have to, we have to cancel some projects with huge clients
Wow.
that those guys could have gotten opportunity to work on, but then just because they didn't listen, they don't want to listen, you give input and they come back with different revert from what you send them. We've had to cancel those projects which could have been very good for their portfolio. So I
Yeah.
think that's one of the put-offs also. So it's basically the communication and the talent. And in these COVID times, one of the things that emerged is in the space, you realize some creators, you have to pull their weight along because they are at home. It becomes an issue. You want to speak with the person is not picking up. Client is on the call, on the line. Where are my creatives? Where are my deliverables? And creatives are not coming out because they are at home, they are sleeping, they are probably roaming around. You understand? So it's, I think in the creative space, if you really want to stand out, you have to make yourself stand out. You have to be resilient. You have to listen. I've been at that spot where I didn't listen some time back, but
Yeah.
maybe experience and growth has showed me that I have to listen and I have to always find a sweet spot to make things work. You understand? So I
Yeah.
think that is the biggest takeaway as a creative. You have to make sure you are pleasing the client, but you're not moving too far away from your philosophy as a
Yeah.
creator. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, experience, they say, is the best teacher. I mean, I'm coming back to Samuel. Samuel, you have been working with creatives, you have been training creatives, and you are, let me just say, the pivotal point where these guys pass through your hands to become where they have to be. So, in your experience bringing some of these guys up, probably through coaching and training, and what do you think are some of the things that they are doing wrong, and you think it's likely to affect their their sustainability or their growth as creatives?
And before I answer that question, I think I want to revisit the previous question that we asked earlier on.
Yeah.
I think what we are missing now is not necessarily education or training from our institutions. I don't believe any institution is preparing anyone for the creative field that we are in right clients and how do you call it, the creatives having this huge gap that does not solve the problem of what the client really needs or what the client really wants. So for instance, we end up having people have this kind of battle between the client asking for one particular thing and the creative also trying to do another, because it's very difficult for them to find that I said the bridge of communication, to find that place for us to meet at that point, to understand each other, to bring something wonderful out. Because usually the client has to say a round circle, around something in the head as the design, but the creative sees a rounded rectangle. You are seeing a circle, it is a rounded rectangle, but what we are looking for is probably an oval. That's the end goal. But for the client to speak and communicate, that it becomes difficult, because instead that I want it circle, but he's not able to tell, like, I wanted an oval. You understand? And then the creative is like, wow, a rounded rectangle can actually work. It's not a circle that the person needs. Then he comes up showing the rounded rectangle, but because the client already has a picture which is not communicated well to the creative, it becomes difficult for the client to accept, because he is paying the money,
Yeah.
to accept what the creative is bringing on board. And if the creative is finding the right way to communicate directly to the client in a way that the client can adapt what he's bringing on, then that problem is solved. So here comes in agencies who have that communication solved. That's why we have groups and agencies that do, like, okay, I want to employ these people to come and work with us, and we will do the talking, do the design. With that, they can easily communicate with the client and then convince them, even when they do not want the logo in this format, and change it to the format that they want. And the only problem we have here is that the communicators, the people who do the communication, end up cheating the creatives, because they can't talk. So they push them to the back, they do most of the work, they speak on their behalf, take most of the money. And now, even though we are solving the problem, you create a different program altogether.
Yeah. Thank you, someone. That was very super insightful. I think the issue of communication is one of the things that run through from what Alex said and from what Michael said and what someone rounded up it with. I think communication is something that we as upcoming creatives need to pay a very good key attention on. Even before we jump onto these job opportunities, or even whilst we are on some of these job opportunities. So to round this up, I mean, we can't identify a problem, identify an opportunity, and not find the way forward. So, Samuel, let me start with you. How do you think creatives can prepare themselves adequately to communicate effectively, to identify the right opportunities, to build themselves very well, to attract them, to position themselves to attract some of these great job opportunities?
Okay, that's a very big question. There's a whole lot I can talk about in here. I mean,
in 1 minute.
Okay, fine. Let me try and see if I can combine everything. So, when we talk about being prepared for the market, or making yourself available for the market, we have a whole lot that we can bring in. For example, I've rather mentioned LinkedIn. We have the Dribble. We have so many accounts that are out there helping us, the creatives, to bring our works together in a particular organized manner. That's what we mean by portfolio. So portfolio is not just your best works, but the best organized works that can communicate fairly to the client or whoever you're sharing your work with. So the person can easily pick it up and decide, okay, I want to work with this guy because he sees what I see, and then we can go together. So LinkedIn, those platforms come to easily help us to organize those things without the stress of opening Photoshop to draw artboards, to arrange and rearrange and all that kind of stuff. So if I have a platform like LinkedIn and I upload all my contents there, I have a daily being uploaded, the client might not even need to ask for a portfolio like a PDF or in any kind of format. That will probably be a whole work for me. That I have to postpone the date, and I'll give you in 2 days and all that kind of stuff. It will be easier for the client to just scroll through my account and see amazing works and be like, wow, this is the guy I need for my job. And with that, I don't even need to talk too much. I can even refer to one of the works that he's already done to get him to work for me or get this kind of project done. And I also feel like one thing that we're supposed to do is we're supposed to get hungry as creatives.
Yeah.
Very hungry. Should I use the word? Permit me to use the word greedy. Greedy in the extent that we don't have to think of the small 50 cities you're going to get from this one flyer. We're thinking of bigger projects like working for billboards as large as getting an amount of thousands and the 2000s and the big projects. Because if you're satisfied with a little project, you end up shutting down your creative power. So you're not used to doing big projects. You're used to doing just this guy said he wants a logo. So let me just bring something together and create something fun for the guy. Let me just draw 2 circles and put some yellow color and all that kind of stuff. You give him a 20 cities, and even with that one, you have to fight with the guy. But in the end, you get your 20 cities and you're satisfied. But if you are looking to put yourself out there in the market, you're looking at you prepare yourself to the extent that you're not no longer thinking locally, but you are thinking internationally, like in the sense of getting your works to look bigger than what is in the nation itself. If you want to even push the market of the creative for even the nation itself, we have to look beyond our borders, because the industry was not started by us; it already existed. The only thing we are trying to do is to infuse our culture. So we have to look to those who are ahead of us to climb and catch up with them with our own stories. We are not putting Africa aside. We are picking up Africa with what they're already doing and pushing it to the front, because I believe we have amazing things too. So in summary, I would say don't think local, think international, and don't think little, think big. With that, with the whole multiplication and those addition symbols and all that kind of stuff, I'm thinking that the creative will be ready for any market at all, working remotely with international companies outside Ghana, and even working with other regions and working in Accra, wherever you may be. If you are really prepared to think beyond your local self, you'll be ready for any market at all. Yeah.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you. So, Michael, how can we build our creatives? What advice do you have for our upcoming creatives so that they can become employable, they can meet employers and their clients' demands? Hello, Michael. You're on mute. Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's better now. Sorry. I'd say that we don't explore our curiosity quotient enough. If you're really curious about something, you should really be curious about what you're doing. So if it's graphic art or film or photography, be curious about it. Be very very passionate, and that should help you learn more. Now, in order to get big roles and big jobs, you should be able to learn how to communicate, right? So your curiosity then would fuel, your need to learn more in that regard. So whether it's communication with a client or just being able to present yourself and position yourself in such a way that you can be discovered or be considered for a role, um, that should be like that should be it for you. You should be able to harness your curiosity quotient and then maximize it. Secondly, I think that in learning, you have to be humble. If you're finding something, if you're researching, you have to be willing to be the fool in the room, just so that you can learn and improve yourself. Because um, being the smartest person in the room would really not get you anywhere. So you try and be the fool and learn from others, and also know your circles and try and then reach out to to people who are like your seniors in the space, and then try and learn from them. That should really get you going. Once you're humble and you're really willing to learn, there is no cap for you. There's no cap. You can do amazing stuff. There are Ghanaian iPhone photographers who are like putting up billboards in LA, Milan, and all over the place. So if you're sufficiently curious and you are humble and then you learn and then you connect well and you communicate well, I don't think anything is beyond you.
From your perspective, how do you think we can adequately prepare these guys to effectively communicate, to keep learning, to learn from the best within the industry so that they can become employable within the space?
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, very loud and clear.
Okay. So from my side, I think as a creator, one, the basic thing you have to do is surround yourself with people, like-minded people. You understand? I think I had a privilege of that whilst I was in the university, where I had a group of guys who were like-minded. So most of us started working right from level 200. You understand? So imagine right from level 200 up to we completed school, we had enough skill set, we've developed enough connections, we've developed enough communication skills, our portfolios were looking good. So right from then, we were ready to work. So I think you should surround yourself as a creator if you want to make it in the industry, which is very competitive. You have to understand it's very competitive, and every agency you would want to work with has a standard, and nobody is going to go below that standard for you. If, for instance, my place, we have a standard, we wouldn't say because you are when we look at your plan, it's not up to, it doesn't. National, you have to have a standard, you have to build yourself. And I think one thing is, as a creator, you have to develop unique skills. Don't be doing don't be doing graphic design. If it's illustration,
Hello.
nobody.
Hello, Alex. Can you hear us? All right. I think we are missing out on Alex. All right. So, guys, thank you for joining us. It was a very insightful discussion, and I wish that for the upcoming creatives out there, let's use this opportunity to learn from those who are out there. Let's communicate effectively. Let's learn to communicate effectively, and let's come up with a whole lot of things that will make us relevant within the space. Thank you for joining the Creative Confab, and the next session will be up next. Thank you.
We're back again. How did you enjoy the session? For me, it was insightful. I don't know about you. How did that go?
See, I've learned so many things. I've learned a lot, like how people interact with creatives. I mean, I always thought creatives is just about design something for me. I didn't know like there were so many backstories to it.
Wow. Sometime ago in my life, I think I wanted to be a designer. So I was watching a lot of tutorials. One day I designed some nice logo and I thought that was the best in the world. And I went to this client, I presented the logo to you, like, what is this? Oh my God. Anyway, so a key learning I took out of that is you have to be humble, you have to be submissive, you have to want to learn, you have to want to follow that pattern because people have set the trend before you, right? And from the first session, we spoke about AI. That was the highlight of that session, man. I spoke about AI. Maybe we should make you an AI. What do you think?
An AI like me?
Yeah, an AI like you. You're looking so pretty. You look so fantabulous, just like the Confab itself. You know. Oh my God! Stop blushing on myself. myself. All right, we're about to move into the next session where we'll have Mr. Edward Asari talk to us. I'll let my colleague, my co-MC, my co-moderator, the only fresh written now, is a creative confab. So let's have fun because I know I think creatives are like sometimes but the programmers are the core people. That have the face like that. So let now tell us about Edward and give us a brief about who Edward is, and then we can move on.
Okay, so Edward does a lot. Honestly, when you go on his LinkedIn profile, there's so much about him. But I'm just going to mention a few, and then I'll open the floor for him to add the rest. So Edward is a digital marketer at UBA, and then he's also a social media manager for SMM Pro.
Wow.
And he's also into corporate communications. I think I'll just leave the rest for him to say it. So Edward, can you tell us a little about yourself?
So I'm Edward Asari, and broadly, I'm a digital marketer. And
why do you sound so calm? Take your time. Let's you're comic. Let's have the vibe.
Okay. So under digital marketing, we have various things, which includes search engine optimization. We have social media marketing and management. We have also content creation. We have content writing as well. We have influencing. So that is basically what I do as a digital marketer.
Okay. So Edward, as a digital marketer, I think you are the best person to answer this question. So I'm going to ask you, when we talk about strategic positioning, how do you think building your personal image as a creative to attract, like how do you think we should go about it to build our personal image as creatives to attract job opportunities?
So that AI do not take them away. Very important. What do you know?
Okay. So I'll use myself as a case study because I started off unemployed. I was not working. So there is a need for me to create a brand for myself so that I would be preferred by brands and organizations. So what I did was, first I thought I could do everything. So if people ask me, hey Edward, what kind of job do you want? I tell them I can do everything. Because in my mind, if I say I do A and maybe they want B, I'll lose out on the opportunity. So that was my thinking then. So what I did was I came to a realization that I have to stick to one thing, and that is where I put the title digital marketer on myself. Okay, because in Ghana here, you wouldn't go to university and then you graduate as a digital marketer. It's not done. It's not that it's been more schools are now studying about it. So I put the tag on myself, and then I study about it daily. I watch videos on YouTube. I read ebooks and articles online to make sure that I become the person that I say I am. And what I did was I was being consistent with what I do. So I started off as a content creator on Twitter, and on a daily basis, I create content on Twitter. And at a point, I became an influencer on Twitter, where we create trends online and we just some peanuts, just something small to take care of ourselves. And then I moved on to LinkedIn, and then I realized that LinkedIn is a different place altogether. It's not a Twitter that you have to just type 200 and just over 200 words and then you're gone. You have to write things that people can feed people, things that people can actually learn from. And then I started influencing there as well. Then I added Facebook and I added Instagram. Then I added blogging to it as well. So that is basically what I do. I've been consistent with it. And then because of that, I started attracting people that want my skills, which is writing, blogging. Some of them want their articles to be published on big platforms. So they look for me and I do it for them. So that is one of the ways of making sure that you brand yourself as a digital marketer or a digital media person, and then people get to you. And should I continue, or you want me to pause for you to come in?
You can continue because I have a
Okay.
question for you.
Okay.
So, if you can hear me loud and clear, you spoke
Mm.
about education because education institutions do not confer digital marketing on you.
Yes.
So you had to study online, right? And
Exactly.
we have a youth population that is so focused on going to university. All right. And if there is a job market out there for digital creative, and that can be found in the educational institution, what is the essence of going to school?
This is a very
That's
important
what
question. This is a very
yeah.
good question.
Let's be creative about it. What's the essence of going to school
Okay.
then?
Okay. So this is the thing. Even everybody here has social media. In fact, Rita has it. You have it. Everybody has it. Okay. And people are really becoming very good at content writing and blogging and all of that. But if you want to reach, or if you want to get into some spaces in the corporate world, you need your degree certificate, because it is a requirement. That is what they use to sieve out the people. Mind you, university or education is just not the certificate. It's about the kind of behaviors that you pick up, how you relate with people, your presentation skills. Right now, if you're a digital marketer, you have to write a report, okay, which is something that I'm trying to do well right now. You have to write a strategy, how to write a marketing strategy. If you don't go to school, you don't learn how to write a marketing strategy, how do you then do a strategy and then present it to your board for you to implement it? Okay, so school is very important. So you have a lot of people calling themselves digital marketers out there, but it will be very difficult for you to make it into the corporate world or the corporate space because you lack a certificate. So the certificate is just to put your feet in the doorway, and then your skill, which has to do with the creativity and then the writing and then the ability to do some graphics here and there, would help you be on top of your game. So I think in my case, that is what I did. The certificate helped me get into the corporate world, and I'm using my skill of creativity and how to use emotional intelligence to get reactions from people to be on top of my game as a digital marketer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's an
And
essence to go
another
to school.
way, yeah, it is. Another one I would also ask to position yourself for quality job opportunities is to have a mentor. Everybody needs a mentor. Have somebody that is already doing what you do, and then learn from them. Okay, so for me, for instance, I have people in high places that do what I do very well. Okay, those are the kind of friends I keep. And then when they get an opportunity, they will recommend you because you have a relationship with them. Okay, so that is one of the ways of making sure that you position yourself very well for quality jobs when it comes to digital media. Another one would also be networking. So it will surprise you. I'm always on LinkedIn. I'm always consistent there. The job opportunities that keep flying in my face every now and then is so numerous. So what happens is that you create with your content that you are sharing every day, and then engaging with people. You get people who become friends, or you get into the spaces of people who are in high places, decision makers, and then those people become your friends. All right. So when as your network increases, your opportunities also increase as well. And then that is one of the ways also to position yourself. So please, if you're a creative and you are not on LinkedIn, I think this is the time you get to be there. Sorry for the distractions in the background. I'm in the office. Okay, this is the opportunity for you to open an account
Army
there.
or something
And
was
then,
about to peep in on us. Yeah, I was confused. But maybe you have some spies by your side. Is
uh,
that something that creative? Do you have spies?
oh no, we don't have spies
Okay,
here.
then we are safe.
No,
All right, we can
you're
proceed.
safe. Okay, so talking about the networking thing. So that is even where I met Rita, because Rita realized that
Oh yeah.
I'm very yeah. Rita realized that I'm very consistent when it comes to content creation online, and I'm able to write content that people can relate with. Okay, so when she saw me, she's like, okay, my people would love this. So why don't you come and talk to them? So let's say Rita has a $1 million project that needs to be worked on. Who do you think Rita is gonna call?
Maybe
Edward
me.
Asare. Okay, so that is one of the ways to position yourself as a digital marketer. And then another way also is to put your work out there. You see, you can be very good if nobody knows about you. You're nobody. People are really now. People are saying privacy. Don't show it online. You don't have to show it online to show that you are enjoying. Let me tell you, if you're a digital media person, putting it online is your business. It's your job. Some of us are posting online. We are making money out of it. It's not for fun. Okay, so I can come and put my food online, and you think I'm enjoying. I got paid to put it online. You understand? So put your work out
Wow.
there. Yes, I can go and stand by a car and post it. You say, well, Edward is being pompous, but I got paid for it. Okay, so that is one of the things you have to put your works out there. You have to put your works out there. Don't hide what you do. Okay, don't be so. I used to be so shy. I don't want to people to see what I'm doing. If you look at me, I have a very soft demeanor, so you'd see that okay, I could be shy a little bit.
That's
But I got to
unbelievable.
so what I did was I got over it. I just took away all the shyness, and I started putting out myself out there more, get people to see who I am, because I realized that one of the ways to increase your search engine right now, you can Google my name, Edward Asare. There are a lot of Edward Asares in Ghana. But if you Google Edward Asare, you see Edward Asare pictures, you see Edward Asare social media, you see Edward Asare's website. And that is one of the ways of increasing your SEO. So if somebody goes online now and searches for digital marketers in Ghana, Edward Asare name is going to pop up. And nobody really likes to go to the second page of Google to look for information, second or third. If it is not on the first page, then it is irrelevant. All right.
I
So
mean, Africans,
your
we don't
name,
like reading already. So
come
what is the
again.
essence of going to the next page?
Exactly. So
Eh,
they probably see Edward Asare's name on the first page. They send me a message. I got a job. So that is one of the ways of making use of social media to make sure that you appear more in search results. All right. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, loud and clear. So you know something before now comes up with it, you were opportune to meet Edward. I'm sure you should have taken a picture with him and say make money off his name. It's something like that. Even see like the food. One of these days when you're gonna eat, let me know so I can come around. We take a picture together. You take 50%, I take 50%. You know,
Oh, bro.
that is called networking, right? Okay,
Well. Mhm.
it doesn't look like you agree to that fact, though, bro.
Oh, bro. Well,
There's love
I
and
don't
sharing, you know
mind. I
that,
don't
right?
mind. I don't mind
That's
at
cool.
all.
Okay,
Okay.
now
So I think Edward, I would have to ask a question. So what I realized
Okay.
about you was on LinkedIn, I think every day you post something. It's like talking about a personality, somebody sharing somebody's journey and all that. What influenced you to know that this is the kind of content I have to put out there?
Very good. So, actually, I didn't know in the beginning. All right. I was testing the waters. When I started, I was posting inspirational quotes. Nobody was minding me. I wouldn't even get one like. And I was so down. And I look at the platform and I see other people's content getting a lot of engagement. I was wondering, how did they do it? So what I did was I used to do on Twitter and I was getting a lot of engagement. I was doing it on LinkedIn and I was hoping that I would get it as well, but it wasn't working. Then I realized that LinkedIn is really a place where people come to learn how to become very effective or how to grow their career or how to find job opportunities. So I came to that realization and I talked to one guy called Gabriel who also advised me on being consistent on the platform. All right. So when I realized that people really want to develop themselves, then I used my writing skills. Now I write about career development. I write about people who started from the bottom and now they are here. I write about people who have graduated from school and they are looking for job opportunities. I write about people who are unemployed and need jobs. So when I write about that now, employers actually come to them and they give them jobs. I've posted people who are not working in high places, and that is what gives me the joy. Okay, and also one of the ways that I got to know that is that um, when you actually posting always about yourself, it pisses people off because you're not the only person there. It's like you're being so full of yourself. But I like to throw light on people so that they can get to, you know, the attention that they need to grow their career as well. So that is one of the ways that I use to know how to get the engagement I get there. And also consistency. The system actually rewards you for creating content. All right, that is what LinkedIn does. So if you're a content creator there, they will reward you by making your content appear to more people online. The algorithm favors you. All right, and I've always said that posting once every day is better than posting 7 posts in a day and going to rest for 6 days. All right. So let's like when I was listening to the earlier people, consistency is the way of getting rewarded on social media. If you're not consistent, the algorithm will change in your favor. So for me, for instance, if today I stop posting regularly, the algorithm will change. I'll lose the people who always see my post, and now I have to create them all over again from scratch. All right. And also engage with people. Now, if you send me a DM, I'll reply you. If you comment on my post, I'll reply you back. What am I doing? I'm making sure that as I engage with people, LinkedIn will tell other people that, hey, Kwadwo, Rita has replied to Edward's post, and they also get to see my post as well. And also another way of doing why I do that is that when you engage with people, anytime they logged on, they'll see your post. So now that I've exchanged messages with Na, anytime Na logs onto the platform, the platform will show now my post because they think that, oh, if Na had communicated with Edward earlier, it means that she'll be interested in this post as well. So they show it to her, right? So that's how the system works. All right. So it keeps changing, and that's why you have to always keep learning so that as the platforms keep changing, always there's an update. You're always up on your game, because if you don't learn, the system will leave you behind, and then before you realize, you're no more influential again.
Are you speechless?
No, I'm waiting for the AI to kickstart my brain, so I can probably find something to say. Anyways, so thank you so much for such an insightful contribution. That
You're welcome.
posting, you said something very intriguing. Do not post 7 times in a day and go to rest for the next 6 days. But I find it interesting. How do you manage to post every day, bro? That is difficult to create content. That, like, what do we? I mean, okay, what is your process for curating content?
Okay, so number one, I would say that in deep down within me, this is what I wanted to do, but I didn't realize it early. Okay, so whilst I was in university, I would take my laptop and I'll be writing. I didn't know that this is a space that can give me money or anything. I would just be writing for people to read, and I just kept doing it, and by doing that, I developed a skill, and then organizations saw me and they realized that, okay, this thing this guy is doing, I would need it as well. All right. So even as I'm talking to you right now, there's a scenario playing in my head as to what story I'm going to put out there. You know, it's unedited. It's just like that raw. It's playing in my head. So right after this presentation, I could just go on LinkedIn and then I'll write a story around it, such a way that you can relate to it, Rita can relate to it, everybody can relate to it, and then that is how I carry the conversation. All right. So I think it's a natural ability that I have, which is a storytelling ability to create something that might be interested to everybody. And also, of course, school actually helped me with writing so that I can be able to curate content that people can actually interact with. So that is basically what I can say when it comes to that. It's natural ability with combined with constant training and learning.
Okay. I think I have to figure out how to, do that. Like, write in a way that's relatable. You see, I think sometimes it's relative because, well, I don't know if you experience what they call the writer's block. I don't know how true that is, but you see, sometimes you're about to write, you think it's very, very nice. You get to a point you're like, are you sure these people won't lash me once I share this on social media? Right? How do you overcome that fear? You see, how do you overcome that fear as an upcoming creative, or how do you overcome that um um the imposter syndrome? I think that's the right word. The imposter syndrome, and people lashing back on stuff you do. I mean, How did, because you said when you started, you nobody minded you. Right now,
Nobody
people
was
are
on
minding
it.
you. By the way, when you finish, please post a story so that I can also trend. I can become a signal artist like you.
Okay. So the writer's
Really
block.
looking for the trending. Yeah.
Okay. So I used to have that. Previously I used to have a serious fear that, hey, if I put this thing out there, people will not like it, or people might not be interested in it, and you know, and then I'll just stop. So I take my phone, I start writing, and then I'll just delete everything. All right. But then I overcame that. People want to, people don't really care. Like, people don't really, they don't think about you every day. I'm telling you, even your boyfriend or girlfriend is not thinking about you 24/7. All right. So what I do now is I take my phone. Sometimes I'm in the car, and then the car is shaking, and then I'm texting. I will type my thing, and then I publish it. And then I'm very spontaneous. I'm somebody who believes in spontaneity a lot. Too much planning, I think, is breeds laziness. Like, yeah, you become lazy. You're planning, and then you think about it, and um, you know, a hitch, and then you give up on the whole thing. So I'm very spontaneous. When I take my phone, I post, fine. Then after posting, I click on edit, and then I go and correct my grammar and everything. Please, it's not good. It works for me, but it might not work for you. And I go correct my English and all of that, and then sometimes the typos, and I correct all of them. Okay, because the post is there. Okay, and then it's more or less like it's coming from inspiration. So as I post it, okay, then I go back to edit it. Okay, because if I think too much about it, then it becomes adulterated with other things, and then the whole story spoils. So that is for me. That's for me. So sometimes what I do is that I type it, and I have a friend who is a writer. I send it to her. She reads over, then she sends it back to me. Sometimes I actually task her to be reading over my post, send me any error that she sees, and I correct it. So that is what I do to overcome my block, or that thing where you have an idea you want to write, and then everything is gone. All right. So that is how I overcome that thing we call writer's block.
Okay. Nah. So I think from now on, you'll be my accountability partner. If I send it to you and people come back and lash at me, I'll hold you responsible. Okay. But I mean, I think what I really took out from that is that you have to show your original self, be who you are, be true to who you are, and then just share yourself, right, in the best form you can possibly do. And people that resonate with you would find you, right? Isn't that the case?
Exactly.
Like the people who are now paying you
Exactly.
money to, share their fufu and is it kontomire or what? Fufu.
Oh,
What
yeah,
food do you
food.
cook? Or fried rice?
Yeah, various foods. Some food, some restaurants, fried rice,
Hmm.
some sandwiches. Yeah. So people find be original. And right now, all the platforms are rewarding creativity. And if you're a blogger, you cannot go and copy and paste, and then you expect that Google will pass you for AdSense. So you have what we call AdSense. That's what the bloggers used to get money. So you see that every website you go, we have ads on the website. Okay. Anytime people see that ad, the writer of that blog gets money at the back
Hmm.
end. So at the back end, you see how much I'm making every day. If you've made $100, $50. So the system now rewards people who are original. So if you go and copy somebody's content and put it on your page, you lose your monetary monetization. That's how it works. It works with Facebook as well, and AdSense as well. So you have to be original, be creative, and even if the story has been written already, don't follow the same pattern. Rewrite it, use a different image, and then publish it. And that is how you make sure that you get monetized on all these platforms.
That is free Paul. Rewrite it, use a different image, and publicize it. Free Bonto. By the way, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Do well to join the conversation. Let us know what you think about this. This is brought to you by the Creative Confab. It's brought to you by Ghana Tech Lab in collaboration with Digital Times Africa. And basically, we are looking into building a resilient creative community or creatives for the local job economy. And speaking to us so far has been Edward Asare. Let's move into other matters, and let's have Edward share with us, like, what are some key things that we should watch out for in the world of creativity, right? Basically, we want to know what are some of the key things to take into consideration when telling a story, so we can tell the story right, right? even in digital marketing, what are some of the things you should look into, right? I mean, you know all the terms, so I probably, if I start trying, I'll fumble. So please
Okay.
tell us, like, give us just present to us what the
Okay.
things we should consider as upcoming creatives or people who want to go into digital marketing, copywriting, and stuff. Going to have a conversation on copywriting next.
Okay. So one thing I would tell people is that previously, when you go to high school and you're studying visual art, people think that, oh, your head died. That is why you are studying visual art, and people laugh at you. In fact, parents don't want their kids to go study visual art. Everybody wants their children to go and study general science or business and all of that. But please, things are changing. We have digital artists who are earning millions of CDs. They are earning money. I mean, a lot of money. Maybe I've exaggerated it, but they are earning a lot of money. So what happens is that these people are creators, okay? And every organization now, they need creators to help them communicate, because the textual way of communicating now has become outdated. People now are on the move and they need information so short and simple, visual, something that is pictorial, so that they can just get the information quickly and then they move on. All right. So these people are becoming very, very important. In fact, that is an area that is growing so fast now, and it is bringing people a lot of money. In fact, medicine is not even something that they should people it's not really giving people much money again, because if you're a creative designer right now, you can sit in your house and do jobs that can give you millions of CDs. All right. So, well, I'm exaggerating again, but I'm telling you that the opportunities there are limitless. And right now, the digital marketers, and we mostly work hand in hand with creatives for content. So we now, if you are a digital marketer, you might as well try to get some knowledge in that area as well, so that you be very useful to your organization and that you work with. All right. So that is one of the things for the digital the creatives as well. Most creatives don't really care about social media. When they get one or two recommendations and they are okay, they don't really want to make noise about their works. And when I was listening to the people earlier on, the portfolio thing, even you can even have it at a website. Somebody asks for your work, send them the link of your website and your work is there. All right. So that's one of the things the creatives have to do. You could have a creative who is a web designer. They don't even have a website for themselves. Something like that. So creatives and digital marketers, they work hand in hand. We make the noise, and then the creatives support us with the content to communicate. Another thing that people have to know is Google Ads. Google Ads. So people really don't know about this thing. But anytime you go online, it's because we are using StreamYard to stream this. Okay. Now, when I go to my website, because I search for the platform, now it appears on my page now, and I get to see their ad on my page. All right. So Google Ads is one of the ways of advertising your product to appear to numerous people. So if you're a creative, you're a digital marketer, you might as well use this as well. It's not difficult to get a Google ad to use it. Just go to Google and then click on the three and the dots over there, that square over there, then choose Google Ad and then get to promote your product for just some few dollars, and then you get in front of a lot of people. And then we also have what we call the Twitter ad, which people don't use in Ghana here, because now you have to go through a third party we call the third party we called oh my god, I've forgotten the name. I'll try and get it for you. Ad Dynamo, before you can be able to promote your products on Twitter. For some reason, Ghana is not part of the countries listed to do the ads, but I think now that Twitter is in Ghana here, that's one of the things that they should be considering, so that people can now promote their goods on Twitter as well. And also, one of the things that people have to do as digital creators is to constantly keep learning, just like I said earlier on. Because if you become rusty, that's the end of you. The platforms keep changing. Imagine you are a digital marketer, and then you go to a company to work, and then they ask you to create an ad on Facebook, and you don't know where to go to even create an ad for Facebook, or how to even pay for the ad you've created. So people are digital marketers, they don't know how to do all of this. But Facebook and YouTube is there. You can always go there and then find it. Previously, you can do it in Facebook itself, but when you do it like that, it doesn't give you the full set up to create an ad that is effective. So you use a creator studio, which is another platform for Facebook. So if you're a digital marketer, you don't know about this thing, you'll be lacking. Okay, and then when you do that, you're always on the move. So let's say you've closed your laptop, you're not even behind your laptop. You have the Google Facebook Ads app on your phone that you can use to track the ad, see how it's doing. If it's not doing well, you change the interests, you change the audience to make sure that you're always tweaking the ad to reach the people that you want them to reach. Okay. So if you're not reading to know that these are the things that you have to keep doing on a daily basis as a digital marketer, you'll be throwing your money like that. You don't get views for your videos, you don't get any leads for your ads and all of that. So that's one of the things that you have to be doing as a digital person. And also if you are a video,
maybe AI can help.
oh yes, it does. One of the things that AI does for digital marketers is that right now, report is very important when it comes to digital marketing, because you have to show if the money that you're actually giving to Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, and all of that actually getting results. So you can actually get a report generated for you by AI platforms like Talkworker. You even have one inside the app, the various apps, analytics. Just get the report from there, then you get to know how your campaigns are doing as well. So these are the things that we have to know as digital marketers, and the various ways to make sure that we get the most out of our works. And people who are getting a lot of views on Facebook, you do videos and you're getting a lot of views, and you've not monetized your Facebook page, you are missing out. Just go to Creator Studio on Facebook with your Facebook logged in, go to monetization, and then set it up. If you are qualified, you see it there. Okay, it will ask you to add your bank details, and then anytime people watch your videos, you get paid for it. Okay, so if you are doing videos on Facebook and then you've not monetized your page, you've got over 10,000 page likes, you are missing out. You are losing money. And I'm here to tell you today that if you've not done it, go and do it. If you're somebody who writes, or you have a blog, you can actually use instant articles. Facebook calls it instant articles. So when you go to blogs like yen.com.gh, I mean Adebra, my Facebook page, Edward Asare, you see that the content I post there, when you click on it, it opens within Facebook. So what Facebook does is that when your content opens within Facebook, they get to show ads to people who read your story. Okay, so the people who read your story now, you get to see the ads, and then the more people see your ads, the more money you make. All right, and then also to qualify for that, you have to have at least 10,000 paid followers on Facebook. All right, okay, so you set up the monetization on Facebook, and then you get paid for writing stories. Okay, all right. And another thing about making sure that you make the most out of Facebook is collaboration. All right,
Edward,
Mhm.
sorry to cut you short there. I think that's a lot of information that I can take some money for. What do you think? Oh my god! I mean, that's insightful, but that all time will allow us. I'm sure we'll probably
Okay.
bring you back some other time on the show so we can talk about more of these things and really get to educate the creative community. I'm sure Ghana Tech Club would like to host you in house so we can have like some training with some of the tech startups,
I
right?
would like to host him once again for the job.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Edward, you have a crush?
Oh.
It's a creative community, so let's be creative.
Okay,
So
sure.
next up is Cyril, Alex. Cyril, Alex. It has this nice affinited name, C and Rio. Like the guy is totally real, but it's Cyril. We're bringing up Cyril very soon. Before you go, right, we really appreciate you for coming on. Your final words before we let you go, and then we bring on Cyril to talk. And before right as you're gonna share your final words, let's talk about money. You exaggerated, bro, for crying back. You exaggerated the Lord
Lots of money.
on money.
And please, the food. Me, I'm interested in that part too. So
Oh,
we'll talk about that one after the show. So
Eh.
let's talk about the money part.
hey, hey. I'm trying to. I'm looking for the AI in my brain to get them. Bring me the English. And you're thinking about the food. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Okay, so Edward, you spoke about exaggerated funds on how digital marketers earn, right? On ending, do you think digital marketers or creatives in Africa are really well remunerated for the job they do? Are they in comparison to European countries? Do they earn better? or do they end well? Are they well paid?
So when it comes to the payment for creatives, do you know that when I started off, I was doing free works. Okay, people were not paying me well, and I was doing it anyway because I wanted to create a relationship. Okay, and people didn't really know me when I started off as a digital marketer. Or it was just word of mouth, and I kept saying it. I was growing my pages; they were not really up there, so nobody knows me. So when I see this celebrity, I've managed the page of some celebrities before. I tell them, okay, Edward, this is what I can do. I can manage your page for you. We can do this, this, and that. I can help you verify your page and do this and that. And for some reason, they kind of trust that I can help them do it. So they give it to me. I do it for them for free. Sometimes all they get from me is data, and then sometimes 20 CDs or 50 CDs to say thank you. All right. So as time went on, in fact, and then people started realizing what I do, and I started saying that this is where my career is going to go. I started putting monetary value on the things that I do. So I started charging people, and it happened when I got a 2-day event to cover, and I got paid 500 cities for it for just 2 days. And when the people asked me to come, that was 2016. I was thinking that, oh, they will give me 50 cities, and then I'll just go and cover the event and I'll come home. And then I told them to mention their price, and they said, okay, we'll give you 500 cities for 2 days. In their mind, they were treating me poorly, but I was like, oh my God, this is really good. So from that day, I was like, if people can pay me 500 cities for 2 days, then I can actually charge more when it comes to these kind of works. All right. So I started asking people in high places about, the salary that they pay people in this space. And then I started getting my worth. Okay. So now I charge people much, much higher for the work that I do for them, because it takes a lot of effort to write. In fact, when you're sitting down there and you want to write a caption, you can sit and think of a caption for like 1 hour. Okay. And you might not even get a good one. All right. But some of us, we have to create like 1,000 captions within the day. Okay. And that all takes mental effort. Everybody have social media apps, but not everybody is a social media marketer or like that. So yeah, you can actually get paid well. When we started off, people thought it's a place that you don't make money. You can get paid well. You can get paid 10,000 cities as a digital marketer right here in Ghana. You can get companies to pay you that. You can get companies to pay you 5,000. You can get companies to pay you 3,000, depending on the level that you are. But I started off by doing free work for people. And those people I did the free works for, it's paying off today because most of them call me every single day and recommend me to other people that are paying me much more than I could have made if I just charged them in the beginning and the relationship got spoiled. So yes, this area is a good place to be.
All right, Edward. From today, I'm a digital marketer. Please recommend me. Okay, I want to enter into too.
You have to start by doing the free ones.
Oh, are you trying to say that you want me to work for you pro bono? I don't do that.
that is how we start. That's how people get to realize who you are and what you can do.
Anyways, thank you so much for sharing your insights. Now, any last words for Edward before I leave?
So, Edward, thank you very much for coming. So, I'll reach out to you on LinkedIn anytime you're going for the free food. Please don't hesitate to.
Yeah, both of us, not her alone. Both of us. We have a relationship.
There's another one. There's a free trip one too. Free trip.
When? No. Don't. Yeah, after the show. Right. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to take a break right now, and then coming on, we'll have Cyril join us for the next session. Thank you so much. Stay put. Don't go anywhere.
thought we did not look at the images.
Welcome back. Hi, Cyril. How are you?
Hi, can you hear me clearly?
Businessman
Good
of the
afternoon.
century. Good to have you on the show.
Good to be on the show. How is everybody doing?
Super excited to see him here, honestly.
You know, right? It's not here actually. It's virtual.
Oh, I'm here. Look behind
Oh
me.
my god! All right. So this is once again the Creative Confab, and do the honors if you are already excited.
Like I said, I'm super psyched to meet Cyril. I've had conversations with him, and I was just humbled by
Oh.
how I was speaking to such an amazing person, and he was always ready to answer me. So once again, welcome, Cyril. So Cyril
Thank you for having me.
is a creative director and a marketing consultant, and then he owns a couple of businesses. So he owns Mixdown Studios, Pulse Communications, and he's a co-founder of Ridge City FC. I've seen a couple of them, like ladies playing football. I wish I could one day do something like that. So now I'll leave the floor for Cyril to also introduce himself, and then we get the ball rolling.
Thank you very much. I think your intro was very apt. That's it. I'm a marketing consultant, and I do run a few businesses. Sports is a passion. Creativity is also a passion. So Mixdown Studios handles production. Pulse is a boutique advertising agency, and then of course Rich City is a football club, primarily for ladies. So yeah, that's a little about me.
Yeah, hi. I think one day I should join you guys on the field.
Yeah, you should. You should actually.
Okay, so Cyril, we just wanted to know, you've built a couple of business. I think you started on as a rapper, and then now you have a couple of businesses in digital media. So can you share with us how it was building a successful business in digital media, and how your journey has been till now?
Okay. Well, it's been a gradual process, and it's been a very strategic process. It's not been easy, but with the changes in the landscape, creatively, digital technology, we've adapted, and we've got to a point where I would like to say we are poised well for even further growth. The biggest challenges with growing businesses in Ghana typically is access to capital, because everything costs money, and the bigger the idea, the more money you require. So financing was a big challenge for us, which we had to find innovative ways to overcome so that we could make the right investments, both personal investments as well as infrastructure investments such as equipment, studio spaces, funding trips for production, stuff like that. So gradual but very successful is how I've described the journey so far, and quite hopeful, looking at the fact that we are looking to grow even further from what we have now. Yeah.
Okay, so looking at what we do at Ghana Tech Lab, we have people we've trained in digital media, and some of them want to start startups or run businesses in digital media. What is the little advice you can give them with someone who has the skill now and wants to develop a business with that skill they have?
I think regardless whatever skill you have, it should be your business directive should be focused on providing a solution that will ensure your longevity. One thing about digital landscapes is that there is high versatility. That means that things are changing every single day. It's very volatile. It's very volatile. You wake up tomorrow and there's a trend, there's a hashtag, there's a new software. Case in point would be Clubhouse, for example. Clubhouse solved a problem, but failed to protect the solution they provided. So Twitter has spaces, Facebook has rules, and even now LinkedIn has spaces and other stuff like that. So what happens is that even in their innovation, they have compromised the longevity of the brand that they've built. So for my advice for the young tech heads is that in investing, changing your skill from just being a skill set to creating an entire business, you have to find a solution in society or in the industry you are in that you can provide consistently for the longest foreseeable future.
So thank you for that. So there are lots of people who start up like you, starts with a skill and then end up dying off shortly. But we realized that you started from music and then you developed a passion for other things. How did you prevent yourself from getting like negative in, because people want to trend, people want to build their brands and get popular, but you did it with a good name. How were you able to maintain that and not be influenced on what social media wants, just because people want them to get talked about so that they get relevant all the time?
Mm.
But you don't do that. But how are you able to stay relevant all the time and also make sure your businesses are also staying relevant and getting clients?
I've always invested in value. And as a person, I think my focus is to always provide value in whatever situation I find myself in. In doing that, what happens is that the attention you want and the trend and everything that you want will be organically generated by those you provide value to. It's only when you don't provide any intrinsic value that you need to be glamorized and scandalized to make a name and to be successful. I mean, you don't see any Rolls Royce adverts, you don't see any Bentley adverts because the value is intrinsic. The value is in what you're paying for. So even from my earlier days, uh, going to studios and hopping on stages and all that, I didn't try to kowtow to what other people perceived I should be doing. I had a plan in my mind, and though it was difficult and required every ounce of focus I had, I stayed according to the plan. And lucky or lucky for me, I've got to where I wanted to go from the beginning. Sometimes when they say when you pray for rain, you prepare for mud. So a lot of young business people don't expect the mud. And at the first sight of mud, they are discouraged and they fold up. But I mean, today we are celebrating Elon Musk, but he's gone bankrupt twice before becoming as rich as he is now. We are celebrating Jeff Bezos, but Amazon has gone broke before, several times, before becoming the company now. Apple is $1 trillion company, but Steve Jobs was broke. He was even fired from the company. So for a lot of Ghanaian creators or African creators, what I think they should do first is build their resilience as individuals. Because if you are taking on such a grand journey as turning a skill set into a business, you have to be prepared for failure. The only way you learn the right way is by failing and realizing that what you did didn't work and the other option might be the best way. So self-discipline for me is key. You don't need a boss, you don't need a supervisor, you don't need anybody hounding you. If you can't do that to yourself, if you can't hound yourself, stay focused on your own and hold yourself accountable, you're not going to make it.
To a phase where he felt like he was failing at something, and then how did you come back from that?
Um, well, I think introspection is key. You always have to put down what you want. The target has to be clear so that when in the instances you are failing or you are deviating from where the target is, you find a way to navigate back. Even yesterday, I failed at something, but today I'm still on it. So it's only when you don't have a plan that failure is a distraction. If you have a plan, failure is a learning process.
Okay. So if you don't have a plan, failure is a learning process. So coming back, you own a lot of businesses where you work with creatives. How has been working with creatives like? People have mentioned that working with creatives can be some, I don't want to say annoying and then difficult, because they mostly like to go by their own rules, they want to follow. How has it been your experience working with creatives? And how do you think creatives should also work to be able to work well with their employers?
This is a very good question. Working with creatives, one word is difficult. And it's difficult because creatives are both very necessary to all these modern creative digital businesses. but they themselves don't understand the value of what they possess. So what they end up doing is being heavy on the emotional angle of their skill sets, but failing to see themselves as products that need to be refined and need to be functional. It doesn't matter. There's this phrase that says, talent is great, but hard work wins the day. You can be the best of whatever in the world, but it's only the people who put in the work who get celebrated and who make victory. Maybe there's even someone in some bush who is faster than Usain Bolt. But guess what? You are not going to out-train Usain Bolt. You are not going to out-practice him. You are not going to be in the gym more than him. So the work is the part that makes doing the hard work as an individual is what creators need to do to make sure that they are more employable. And once they are employed, they are also more sustainable as an investment to the employer. Because if I call a designer, if I call an editor, you are an investment the business is making. I'm spending money on you every year. And for that, I need returns. Otherwise, I'm just wasting money and the business will fail. But they don't understand it that way. And they mostly don't see themselves as products being invested in. They see it the opposite way from an emotional standpoint, as if they were doing a favor or they were offering their services to help you on some cause. And that is why a lot of great potential in the creative field in Ghana and in Africa gets stifled. Anybody who is a celebrated creative or a celebrated talent has put in more work than their talent is worth. That is what is necessary.
Okay, thank you very much. So we creatives should learn to put in more of the work. This is my final question to you. So we've had instances where people in the creative industry complain of being undervalued for their talent.
Mhm.
What is the issue? How is it that creators are not preparing themselves well or branding themselves well to be valued, or it's just that our community doesn't want to accept the value creatives bring to us?
So there's tangible value and there's intangible value. Intangible value is if I call a designer, his services to me are great for my business, but his skill set as a creative designer is intangible. I can't measure how much of a designer he is or how much design is in his head. It's intangible. But he needs to invest in the tangible things that I can measure. His attention to detail, his proactivity, his timeliness, his demeanor, his professionalism, his follow-up, his initiative. Those are tangible metrics which your boss or your partner or your business associates can use to measure your performance. And when those metrics are available, then value is created. So even if I had a designer who, let's say, was a 4/10 designer, but he was on time, he was respectful, he had initiative, he understood, he asked questions when he didn't understand, he took an extra step forward to learn, I would value that designer above somebody who is a 10/10, but comes to work late, shows no initiative, doesn't seem invested in the business, and doesn't seem to care about the grand vision. So what I have is a piece of gold that I can't sell anywhere. So I'd rather take a piece of tin and go to the tin market and get my money's worth.
Okay. So what Cyril is saying here is, as creatives, we shouldn't just have the technical skills, we should have the soft skills as well to be able to make us valuable to our employer. So Cyril, before I leave you to go, I've learned a lot from the short time we spent, but can you give us your last words? So we have people from various regions who we train in digital media, and
Okay.
they want to hear from you. What are the last words you have from them before they start their startups or start going to go and work as creative talents?
Okay. My last words would be for everybody in the digital space and especially in the creative space. What you know today doesn't matter tomorrow. It won't. The rate at which the world is changing and everything is changing, it's even worse than what happened to the dinosaurs. If you sleep and fail to learn, if you fail to keep learning, you will lose the battle. The only reason why I've been doing advertising, marketing, and all this since 2007, and I'm still young. So the only reason why I've been able to still stay ahead of the curve and still be relevant enough to even be on your platform today is because I don't stop learning. I know a lot, but I don't know it all. So the least chance I get, I add value to myself. I learn. There's stuff I knew yesterday, and there's stuff I know today, and tomorrow I'll learn something new. So to be in the digital space, don't think about just starting a business. Don't think about, I'm a good web designer, I'm a content influencer, I'm a content marketer, I have 200,000 followers on Instagram. You need to think about what Instagram is doing with this logarithm. You need to think about what Instagram's CFO and CEOs are discussing at tech summits. You need to pay attention to the news to know the fate of the platform on which your skill set or your talent has value. Because whatever happens to Instagram is going to happen to you. And if all you are focused on is the filters you are posting your pictures on and who is giving you what product to sell, then you are 100% vulnerable. And when it crashes down or something changes, you will be left in the dust. You know, the celebrities and the influencers outside Africa mostly have a lot, some even have a whole entire team managing their digital landscape. There's somebody looking at the engagement, somebody on the analysis, somebody on creative direction, somebody on brand strategy, because you are a business. So if you are in the digital space, you need to take yourself seriously as a business and continue to learn and continue to grow. Those are my last words.
Wow. Oh, Cyril, thank you so much. I mean, this fireside chat was like, I had to step away so that I can soak in the information that was coming, because so deep, bro. So deep.
Thank you.
I'll ask more questions, because I think you nailed everything so on point. And yeah, you really spoke to our young people out there. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't have questions for you, but we're gonna have like some backstage conversations some other time.
No problem.
We're gonna talk about the digital media, and then how creative can also enhance their skills. All right.
Okay.
So this conversation was brought to you by Digital Times Africa. Right before we let Cyril go there, was brought to you by Ghana Tech Lab in collaboration with Digital Times Africa. Just for a bit, let's talk to you about what Digital Times Africa does. Digital Times is a multimedia news agency. We focus on entrepreneurship, technology, and innovation. We try to curate relevant updates for the African audience around these spaces so that they stay informed at all times. Right. So do well to visit our website at www.digitaltimes.africa for the latest Afrocentric technology, innovation, and entrepreneurial insight at every point in time. Do not miss any single update. We're the first to cover the Twitter, in Ghana, stuff like that. So don't miss it. Don't miss out. Right? Stay put. Stay in with us and enjoy what we share. Right? And let us know what you'd like to read from us. Yeah. Now, final words for our community out there, people who joined the call, and everybody who needs to what we have learned today.
So personally, I had an amazing time. I learned a lot. I learned so much. Please, I'll talk about the food again. I didn't know that you can actually create a platform, like a brand for yourself, and end up getting free things from people and still get paid for it. So that was what I took from it. I don't know what you also took from it.
Wow.
Can you also share what some of the things you got?
I think I'm following right behind you. The food part. You want to make money, so I made myself a digital marketer all of a sudden. I don't know what that even is. I'm sure by the end of today I'll know digital market, so that I can contact Edward, and then he can hook me up with some of the big clients and get 10K. Who knows? I might be the next trending digital marketer on Google. That's all we have for you from the Creative Confab. Thank you so much once again, Cyril. Your knowledge base is so vast, and for you to still be young at this age, you sound like Jeff Bezos or what was it? Elon Musk of Tesla. How does a lady join your football club? She is interested. Are you muted?
Hello, Cyril. Can you hear us? I think Cyril can hear us.
Oh my God, so sad. We're gonna let Nago do some exercise so that by next 2 years, next 3 years, we can sell her for a football age, and then she becomes maybe Cristiano Ronaldo's, not girlfriend. That's all from us. Thank you so much for joining the Creative Confab. My name is Richard Joseph, and I'm here with
Nakode. Thank you so much for
together we are MCs, moderators, and AI intelligence Bye bye.